Okay.
This is editing Blake. I didn't realize this. I kind of forgot to point it out. I'm filming this on a phone, so the quality is kind of garbage. So I do apologize for that in advance. But hopefully you enjoy the video anyway. And yeah, I'll let you guys get back to it.
New form of content for me. Never done this whole YouTube thing, putting my face on camera, whatever. That's new. I want to try it. Want to have a little fun with it. By my channel name, RDG Garage, Regularly Driven Garage. That's the name of my channel. Kind of, a little bit of a lie at the moment because I don't really have any car to regularly drive except for my EcoBoost Mustang, which a lot of people make fun of because it's an EcoBoost. So I don't really have that yet. That'll come in the future. But I have big plans for this thing, this whole YouTube thing and TikTok thing. And I really want to see how far I can take it and where it gets me to. So I'm going to try it out. But so pretty much all this channel is going to be is me talking one-on-one or one on whoever sees this about cars, about car shows I go to, basketball stuff, sports stuff, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into politics. I'm too young for that. I don't care. But I'm going to keep it less controversial. Not trying to be the crazy controversial person. But I definitely want to start talking about cars, all that kind of stuff. And as I grow, I want to have more people maybe come in my car, have a little sit down. But pretty much what this is going to be, it's going to be me sitting in my car and just talking about stuff. Obviously, there'll be edits and videos in between going through because I also want to work on my own editing and stuff because I feel like that's just fun. And that kind of stuff. So, but basically, it's just going to be like a podcast kind of thing. But short, probably like 10, 15-minute videos most. Probably even shorter, to be honest. I don't even think I can get a 10 to 15-minute video, even if I wanted to. But, so for today, I want to start off by talking about the International Auto Show in New York City that I went to today at the Javits Center. I just want to talk about my experiences, the different things I did. Was it worth going for those who maybe want to? Is it something that I would recommend to people who want to go look at cars and maybe want to buy a car? Or is it just one of those things that, like, if you like cars, you'll enjoy it? In my opinion, to start off, when I got there, we went in, tickets were $22 a person, so not expensive at all. This is pretty much all the stuff is included, all the car stuff. Obviously, if you want to buy merchandise, that's all not included. You got to buy that yourself. If you want to buy food, same thing. But all the experiences, all of the cars, being able to sit down, all of that just comes straight from your ticket. So when you buy your ticket, all of those fun things are going to be perfect. Now, for me, when we went on a Wednesday because it was the, how should I say this, least crowded it could have been. We had the ability to actually get into lines, go to these experiences, enjoy the experiences and stuff. We had the ability to, a great one was the Jeep and the Bronco. Now, we did wait about 30 minutes in a line to get to both of those. But the wait for both of them is worth it because if you're looking at a Jeep versus a Bronco and you want to tell the differences between the two, it's a great opportunity to be able to compare the comfortability, the comfort of one versus the comfort of another. Sorry, English is hard. And then another thing, you get to see all the different technologies, the different experience. It's a really cool thing that I would definitely recommend, even if the line is long. And plus, that's like the first thing you see when you get to the place is outside. You see these two giant, like, mountain-looking things that you see these Jeeps driving up and stuff. You kind of feel like, okay, that's something I want to do. Now, to get started with that, I definitely want to start with my experience in the Jeep to start off, because that's what the one we did first. Now, the Jeep was a little it was a great car to be in for this kind of situation, but in comparison to the Bronco, I was a little disappointed. The reason I say that is it was really comfortable and all that, but it doesn't have that same comfort that the Bronco has, nor does it have the same, how did I put this? The same, like, feel as the Bronco. It feels rough. Like, I mean, obviously people want that. Some people want that in their off-roaders. They want a rough, like, feels rugged, like tough kind of thing. But we were going through it. It felt good. It was really impressive the way it glided over all these different things, went up and down without an issue. The only thing was it felt very like wobbly and bumpy and stuff, which is fair because you're on these all bumps and stuff, but it felt like kind of rough. I had to like hold on the entire time to something to be able to keep the phone even somewhat stable to film everything. It was fun, a little disappointed in the way it came out and the way it was, but it wasn't bad. Now, on to the Bronco. This might sound a little biased coming from someone who drives a Ford, but I really did enjoy the whole experience. It had great technology, great speed, great feel, and it was super comfortable over all of these different bumps. Very impressive how you can change like the way the differential is. You can lock the rear diff, lock the front diff. You can completely shut off the front bar so it'll just drop down. It felt a lot more like this is what I would want to drive if I'm driving an off-road vehicle. And another thing is, in the Jeep one, the people who were in it driving the cars, like driving us around, very straightforward, weren't great at communicating with you. They would tell you things, but it would be really hard for you to relay what you want to say to them. Versus the people at Ford with the Bronco, I felt very comfortable being able to sit down, talk to all these people. And we had a great person to begin with. She knew all the things she was talking about, everything about the car. She could do it without an issue. So very different situation. I felt they were a lot more personable. I'll say that. They were more personable. But overall, the Jeep was outdone by the Bronco in every category, in my opinion. The Bronco had better looks, better interior, better feel, pretty much overall just better in my opinion. I won't say that the Jeep was bad. It's a rough comparison against the Bronco. It's completely different in a lot of ways, even though I know they're supposed to be similar. I just feel that Ford did a better job making their off-road vehicle than Jeep did. So for me, the Bronco was the better one, but it is great to experience both of them because you can obviously have a different opinion than I do. And if you do have a different opinion and you do see this video, please write it in the comments. Let me know what you think. And I'll answer your comments because I'm not going to have a lot to begin with. So I'll answer whoever wants to talk about that kind of stuff. So moving on to the next experience, which was the electric car test track. Now obviously we don't get to drive them because that's a liability, but you'll go downstairs and all the way in the back past all the project cars that people make, you'll go all the way to the back and there's just these bunch of booths and you'll just hear a bunch of squeaking. That's all you hear is just screeching of the tires. And you go in. We only did 2 of I think there was 8 of them, but for that we did the Cadillac and we did the Nissan. So we were in the Cadillac Escalade, which unfortunately I didn't get a video of, which I wish I did because that was a insanely comfortable ride and insane just everything. And I personally, before we continue, I don't like electric vehicles. I will never buy one unless I'm forced to. I just don't like them. It's soulless, not the same as an engine where you can hear a rev and be like, wow, that sounds good. No. But if my mind has changed on some things about them, but comparing the Cadillac to the Aria. Now, the Cadillac, very smooth ride. Turns were smooth. Everything about it was good. It felt like comfortable. You could sit and you could actually enjoy driving that car for a very long time. The Aria, a little bouncier, a little rougher. Very good handling for a car of that size, I guess. But it just did not compare at all to the Cadillac. The Cadillac's mileage was 10 times better than the Aria. The Aria the base mileage that you would get is around 198, and that's without using your AC, your radio, and a bunch of other things. Versus the Cadillac, the start was 492, and it only goes down to 400 when you use all that stuff. And that's a lot of mileage. That's more mileage. That's like double what I get in my car normally. So that alone was pretty good. And then also, I will definitely say the Cadillac just had better everything. The screens were better. It had this dash that went across the whole thing, like the new Mustangs with like the screen all the way across. Literally, I sit down in the car and my seat's already massaging me. I didn't even turn that on. And that was great. So that was an awesome experience. But in comparison of the two, obviously, I don't think anyone was surprised when I say the Cadillac was a better car than the Nissan Ariya. I don't think that's a surprise. To move on to the next topic, which was the project cars and all that area. So the area was packed with all these cool cars, very well made project cars that people have put time and money into, and overlooking every single one of them, you could see that some of these cars were proper builds that you would see at like any other show. There was Supras, Nissans, Fords, Mustangs, Audis, everything. But it really does show that if you want to go see cars at an auto show and you expect it to just be like dealers, it's not that at all. There's a lot of more like builds that you can go look at to be like, oh yeah, I want to see how that works. I want to do that. And it's really cool. You get to do all this. And one of the best parts of it was when you're walking around. I forgot the guy's name, but he's the guy who does all the wide bodies on the Porsches. And you get to sit there and you just get to watch him do his work. And obviously, I'm not going to sit there for the entire time watching him work on a car. That would be sick, but there's other stuff for me to see. There's other stuff I want to see. But I will say, if you have the ability to go there, definitely take a look at that. And you'll see it's really impressive work that this guy does. And he does it pretty much all by himself too, which is awesome. To the next part, which is the main part of the place. With all of the name brands, all the like main dealerships, all the main car dealers, all that stuff are up there. Very good because you can go into most of the cars. Obviously, we can all assume that there's going to be some that won't let you in, like Mercedes. If you ever go to a Mercedes dealership, all of their cars are locked unless you're going to test drive or buy a car. Mercedes was blocked off, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, obviously. And then there were a few smaller brands that like I kind of don't think should have had their things blocked off. They should have been letting people in. But if you are trying to buy a car and you really want the ins and outs of a car, going to the International Auto Show is great because people there know what they're talking about. They have the ability to sit down and like walk you through every little detail about each car. So, in my opinion, as my final thoughts to if you should go to the Javits Center International Auto Show in New York City when it's here, I would 100% say it is worth going, even if you don't love cars the way maybe I do or people who go to car shows do. Because this is great to be able to learn about a new car that you want to buy as a family mobile or a grocery getter, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's not just for people who love cars. It's a car show that you can go to just to see stuff that maybe, you know, you wanted to get a new Toyota RAV4. Let's go with that. They have all that. They have all the different things, all the different options, and you can talk to these people to go through. So in my opinion, I feel like it's a great thing for a lot of people to go to. And with how cheap the tickets are, it's worth going. It really is. I enjoyed it. Obviously, I went with my dad. He enjoyed it. And I definitely would recommend, if you have the time to, whenever it's in New York, to go to it. I would do it. So that's pretty much all I have for that. Once again, new to this, so don't destroy me in the comments and roast me for how I'm doing. But if you have any questions or comments about stuff, or you want to start talk about something, you want me to have a new video idea or something like that, please post it in the comments. I'll try my best to be able to answer whatever you have to say in the best of my abilities to my knowledge. Again, I'm young. I don't know everything about cars yet, but I am definitely excited to start this journey with whoever wants to be a part of it with me. And I can't wait for my next video. And on that note, I will catch y'all in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.